Well, welcome back to the Undead Family Podcast. Podcast where we try to care what we say, but the jokes are funny, and that's all that matters. To my right, we got the Asian Persuasion Buddha. Across from me, we got Sergeant Ass Kicking, aka Ducky. And in the empty spot, we don't have anybody because Odin Smoke is not here today. But this is the Undead Family Podcast. Be sure to give us a like, comment on different topics you want us to talk about, or you think we should talk about, and be sure to subscribe for more. You can find us on Spotify, Apple Podcast, Amazon Music, Google Podcast, Stitcher, Alexa. Yeah, that's Amazon Music. Yeah, basically anywhere you can find podcasts, you can find us. So now that we haven't said that, how's everybody doing? How you guys doing today?
Ooh. Sleepy, apparently. That dead silence, though. Buddha, wake up.
Buddha, you good?
My bad. I had myself muted. My bad. I was looking at TikToks. Speaking of fucking TikToks, I want to talk about this situation right here. Why are fucking kids so goddamn dumb?
God, I ask myself that every day.
Like, I mean, I get into rabbit holes on YouTube and watch all kinds of stupid shit, like people talking about these kids doing these devious licks and shit. I know it's just a lot of shit's old, but you know, I'm far behind in the news when it comes to the new school shit. So I mean, I remember back in my day when you did dirt, you'd post that shit all over the line because like, what the fuck are you gonna do that for? It's dumb. You get yourself caught up, and then now that these kids want to be fucking famous so bad, you're willing to do stupid shit to post it online. Where fuck, you know how easy it is to track your shit. Well, even if you don't use a fucking email, let's still find a way to fucking track it. It's not hard to figure out who registered to what account and to who and what, where, when, where. So, like, I was watching the fucking video of this dude talking about these kids hitting the devious licks. Kids doing the Benadryl challenge. Like, don't do that shit, kids. Do not do the Benadryl challenge. Okay, there's kids out here dying from taking 10 Benadryl. I took a bottle and a half of Benadryl. And I'm lucky to be alive today. Do not do that shit. It's not fun. It's not cool. It's not smart. It makes you feel like a complete schizophrenic. And this is taken from my own fucking experience, all right? You see demons, you see shadowy figures. You do not want to take that shit. If the kids want to be curious and fucking want to experiment with drugs, it's fine. But make sure you know what the fuck you getting into when you start doing this shit. Do your research. Fuck, if you don't know nothing about fucking drugs, fucking read about this shit. The common knowledge is all over the fucking internet. It may not be good knowledge, but you could at least take from other people's experiences. And the same thing with parents is, you can't sit here and tell these kids not to do these fucking drugs and not explain to them what's bad about these fucking drugs and what's wrong with them. Because I mean, shit, my parents told me not to do drugs fucking my whole life, and guess what the fuck I did when I got to a certain age? I started doing fucking drugs.
Yep, same.
So I think it's better that you explain to these kids about the consequences of doing drugs and then what could lead to it, instead of just telling them, hey, don't do this shit, don't do that shit, because curiosity kills the cat. All right?
Every single time.
Everyone gets curious about something. And you hope it's nothing major, but in like the terms of my case, where I got addicted to some crazy shit, like, you gotta talk to these kids, man. You gotta let these kids know. And you also gotta tell these kids, look, being famous is not fun. What you want all these people in your life for, man? People look up to you as a fucking personal, like a figure, like someone to look up to. It's not cool. Fuck being famous. I'd much rather be a private person and not be fucking famous. Or no one could ever know my name and I'd be happy about it. Because goddamn, why you want these people diving into your fucking life? Y'all can dive into my life, but y'all gonna find a lot of shit that's probably weird. Hey, go ahead. Go ahead. Dive into my life.
You just said, I'm gonna be the most private person ever. Says the person who was on a podcast who name dropped himself several times in the last couple of episodes.
Hey, that's me though. That's me. You have to throw your own personal experiences in there when you bring up shit like this, because I have plenty of experiences when it comes to drugs, alcohol, fucking partying. Like, I have plenty of experience with that shit. You might be only fucking 29 years old, but I've fucking sat out there and partied and done all kinds of shit.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's why a lot of people were like, when I was like 23, 24 years old, I was like, well, I mean, I can go out, but I don't really want to. I mean, you're bored. Like, well, I mean, shit. At age of fucking 14, 15 years old, I was doing shit that most people would do in their fucking 20s. So I grew up kind of fast, and I grew up in that fucking lifestyle of I'm just going to get fucked up every chance I get. And that's how I was for a long fucking time.
Yeah, that's like, for me, like, I don't drink very often, because when I do, like, we're going in. If I'm drinking, like, we're going in, because it's not, like, because I know I get to that point, I'll get to that where I start drinking every day. I start drinking every day after work, and I'm killing them every day after work.
Yeah,
that's why, like, one night I literally came home and just cracked a bottle and just poured it in a Yeti, and I had a Yeti half full of whiskey and half full of Dr. Pepper, and got looked at like I was crazy. It's like, 'cause you ain't seen all the days where I did that back to back to back to back to back. It's like, so you, like, if you see me do that now, like, if you see me drinking on stream, it's been a rough week.
The other day when you came home and you grabbed a White Claw, sat at your desk, popped it open, took a drink, and then sighed, I think I did a double look at you and said,
"Oh yeah, that was a rough day." There was only two of us at work, and we were super busy.
I've done that shit so many times. Well, I think one of the worst ones, there was probably two of the times where I felt like an actual true blue alcoholic. So one night, all my friends were on vacation. I had no leave, so I stayed back. I was still fucking on base, chilling by myself. So, I went to the shop give me a little fifth of some Jim Beam and shit, head back to my bedroom to drink. I'm sitting there drinking by myself, and I get a phone call from my dad. Hey, what are you doing? Oh, nothing, just chilling in my room, just drinking. Well, you drinking by yourself? I was like, what? No, I'm not drinking by myself. He was like, oh, okay, good, because you do that, and you really are an alcoholic. And I was like, motherfucker, man. He would call me out like this right now.
Are you looking through a bag of dimes or some shit?
Pay attention to that.
He's sorting change, man. He's trying to find the quarters so he can get the most amount for gas. I know what he's doing. It's all good. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
I'm surfing through my fucking change to find quarters to find some cigarettes, because all the cash I have is gonna go to gas. Bro, gas is
I
fucking
feel
ridiculous.
that. I'm not gonna lie. You guys remember when Taco Bell first came out with their party packs?
Yeah.
And they were reasonably priced.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Me and a handful of our friends got super fucked up.
Yeah.
And went and bought like 5 or 6 of them bitches. I think we probably had $10 in dollars, and the rest was nickels and dimes, and a handful of pennies.
Shit,
and we went through the drive-thru. That woman, I'm not kidding, took her debit card out and went and was like, I'll buy your fucking shit, because I am not counting that.
Oh, I've had that shit happen to me before too. Where I had a bunch of change, or I worked at a fucking Walmart, and a lady came in with like fucking $20 in change, and I said, "Fuck no." I said, "How much is it?" Right. I'll pay for it. Like I
was like,
swiped my
and she
card.
was like, she didn't do it the way she did it. Wasn't like, go fuck yourselves. It was more like, I'm gonna help y'all out. I'm not gonna count that. Y'all have a good night.
I'm not
and
about
so
to count
she took the dollars, and then just whatever was left over, she paid with her own card, which is super sweet. We then proceeded to go to McDonald's and got a shit ton of nuggets, and they took the change. But
oh, of course.
It was a really good night.
Shit, people used to give me shit when I used to accept fucking quarters for weed.
Yeah.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Hey man, quarters is money, alright?
Money is money. I'm sorry.
Look, kids, don't like, if you gonna sell drugs, accept everything. You want to be a hustler, you gotta be a hustler. You gotta accept everything, because times is hard out for people, alright?
Facts.
Oh my fucking god, I think I have just enough.
I had to get my freaking noise gate set up because you were coming through my mic strong as shit. I don't know what was going on.
Me?
Yes, you. I was like, damn, like, why is
It's
my...
because I moved.
Yeah, I don't know what, if you moved and turned
No, it's because
or...
we flipped. It's because we flipped the desks.
Yeah.
So now I'm closer to you.
But it's fine. But speaking of, like, change like that, I've told this story before, probably on stream, but I haven't told it on the podcast. In high school, me and my boy Trey Murphy, I ain't talked to him in years, but we went through, he worked at Sonic, so he worked there at the same Sonic that we went to. We went and, no joke, bought $47 worth of food at Sonic and paid with nothing but nickels and dimes. Because he had a Route 44 cup in his room that was his change cup from work. And he was burning through. He was like, I gotta get rid of this, but he's like, I don't want to go. And apparently this guy that was working that day had been like being a dick for the last few days. And he just goes in, and we just pull up, and we sorted it and counted it all out for him. So it was like already sorted, but it was like, yo, and he was like, y'all are kidding, right? We're like, nah, this is all we got, bro. And he literally, because what I didn't know was when you pay Sonic and change, even if you count it out and you show them, they have to recount it inside the building. And so, even though he saw us sit there and count it out, he literally had to go inside. We waited for like an hour for our food. But it was like our slushies were completely melted. Like, he didn't even care. That dude was so mad.
Fuck.
I'd have been like, heck no, you about to go get me a new freaking slushie, because I ain't about to be drinking this water. Like, get out of here. Yeah. I have no shame when it comes to paying change. I'll be really embarrassed about it, but bitch, if I gotta do it, I gotta do it.
Fuck no. Bro, I had 5 people standing behind me yesterday in the line when I was getting a pack of cigarettes with some change. And they was all looking at me like this broke ass motherfucker. Looking all back and back like, fuck y'all.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna say what I said yesterday. If that ain't your sign to stop smoking.
But what it really is, like, I would much rather sit there and pay with change than attempt to use a card and have that bitch decline in front of other people.
Yeah.
That is the worst feeling on the planet, is having your card decline and just having to be like, nah, never mind, dog.
When we were at the arcade yesterday for that birthday party, when you were like, yeah, it doesn't work anymore, I was like, what? I was so disheartened. Good thing it was just the machine, but like...
Well, no, the first time it literally was out of, like, that was the worst. But I knew that was coming.
Yeah, it was only a $10 card.
So for y'all listening, we went to main event. Dominic had a birthday party, a friend of his, and we went to main event. And I kind of knew, I was like, there's no way that these 6 or 7 kids have unlimited, like, points on these cards. There's no shot. And
That'd be so much money.
oh, for sure.
Okay, so for perspective, Dominic had a birthday party at like a similar, not really similar place, but it was like a indoor bounce thing where they had bumper cars.
It was a trampoline park.
Yes, that's what it is. Thank you. But they also had bumper cars and laser tag, and then they also had a handful of games here and there. So for him, for 10 kids, it was close to $350 with food and everything included for 3 hours of jump and all kinds of stuff. Where we went yesterday, they also only invited 10 kids. And they had 3 hours of video games. They got laser tag. they got these really cute little meals that had like little sliders. And I was like looking at it when they pulled it out, and I was like, this kid is not going to eat that, and he's going to complain about it. And I got the best picture of him with just going
Oh
ham
yeah,
on
that picture's
burger.
great. We'll have to post that on Instagram.
He just like full mouth wide open on that burger, and I was like, oh thank God. So then I was like, hey, they have, you know, mayonnaise and stuff over there. He is not one for toppings. Like, he doesn't eat any toppings on anything ever.
We got him a couple weeks ago to use
Yes.
Bro, he eats like
nuggets.
chicken nuggets with nothing, just dry.
Bro, that's psychopathic shit right there.
It really
that's
is.
psychopath shit.
Yes.
I've tried so hard, and literally, like Goblin was saying, like last weekend, the weekend before that, it was the first time he tried it with barbecue sauce. He's like, it's okay.
Okay, so I have the other end of the spectrum with my little sister. When she was a kid, she used to eat nothing but ketchup. Like, she would eat bread, and she would just put ketchup on bread, eat that shit. It'd gross me the fuck out. I love ketchup, but no, I can't do shit like that.
I can't eat grilled cheese without ketchup.
Yeah, I have to eat grilled cheese with ketchup.
Dude, grilled cheese with, like, a good tomato soup.
Oh,
bomb.
Oh my god.
So good.
Bro,
But
so regular like fucking Campbell's tomato soup,
yeah,
still bomb.
even that still bomb. But bro, so like when I was in, I used to take slack for this like as a kid. When I was in like, you know how some kids will be like, if my food's touching, I'm not gonna eat it.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah,
I was the opposite of that kid. Like I didn't give a fuck what was on any of my food. Like if food's on my plate, I'm about to eat it. You know.
Yeah, exactly.
So we were eating something and there was ketchup on my plate, but there was also a chocolate chip cookie on my plate. And at one point, not like a lot, but like a little bit of ketchup was on the cookie, and I still ate that shit. And my parents for the longest time were like, "I watched you dip your cookie in chocolate in ketchup." I was like, "No, I did. It was on the plate. Like it just touched it. Like I don't. It's still chocolate chip cookie."
I mean, don't throw my name out there like that.
Right?
Disrespecting my name. Put some respect on my shit when you talk about me like that. I didn't dip that shit.
Bro, have you seen the clip of Birdman at the Breakfast Club?
Oh yeah, I watched that shit. Oh my god.
When he does that, he's like, "Nah, for real. Put some respect on my name."
I'll treat you.
When you say my name, put some respect on it.
Oh like, my god.
And he and Charlemagne, I love Charlemagne. Like as long as he doesn't go too hard into certain things, like then I kind of tune out. But he, for the most part, is hilarious. And his when he does Donkey
of the Day.
Donkey of the Day, yes, but he does a podcast with Andrew Schultz, the Brilliant Idiots podcast. Yeah. If y'all do not listen to the Brilliant Idiots podcast, it is one of the funniest podcasts out there. It is hilarious. It's Andrew Schultz, who is one of the greatest, in my opinion, one of the greatest crowd work comics that I've ever seen. And then you got Charlemagne, who's the radio king. I mean, then those two just riffing off each other is so funny.
I'll say this. Tom Segura and fucking Burt Crasher's podcast.
Oh, Two Bears? Two Bears, One Cave? That's gold. That's gold.
I see has me crying every fucking time.
Bro.
Oh, did you see the one with his fucking cream ass leather jacket?
Yes.
Oh my fucking! I want to know how much you paid for that shit.
Dude, you know
he paid a ridiculous.
You know, Bert bought him a race team, like a race car team. Yeah, Bert. So there's gonna be a Two Bears, One Cave race team.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's like they got a car, they got everything. They're working it out. He said on a podcast that I think Rogan's gonna drive in a race for them. I don't know if that's official. I don't know if that's been confirmed yet, but I remember Bert saying that he was talking about that. But yeah, for Tom, so they do this thing every year. They like try to go big for their birthdays, and one year I think Bert sent Tom to like the championship NCAA game or something. And then Tom like flew Bert to a bunch of different cities private because Tom flies private everywhere. So there's like a bunch of different. They do like bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and then I don't remember what Tom did, but Bert was like, "I gotta go bigger than that," and he bought Tom a freaking race team and shit. I'm like, yo, that is crazy.
That really is. To be able to buy your best friend a fucking race team.
Right. Yeah.
Can I get some friends like that? Shit.
I know, shit.
Look, I'd be happy with just my friend buying me a beer.
Look, I'd be happy with our friend just coming to the podcast we all agreed upon.
I keep expecting him to just like, I keep waiting for the notification that he's online and he's just gonna join the party like right as we're ending it.
Yeah.
That would be funny. That probably would be what happens.
It's probably not far off from what's gonna happen, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Either that or he's gonna wake up and be like, why didn't you all wake me up? I guarantee his excuse is my phone was on the floor.
Yeah. How do you end up with your phone on the floor, man?
I don't know. We all have that one friend.
Yeah, for
I'm
sure.
still laughing about that post I made.
Oh, the Patreon. Okay, so let's go there. Let's talk. So guys, we have started a Patreon page. It's nobody has to join it. If you want to support, you can. There are different tiers. Can you pull up the description and read it of the Patreon? What that line that you had, because that was so funny.
It was.
And I know everybody that listens to this podcast is going to think it's great.
Yeah, so for anyone who wants to go check out our Patreon, it's patreon.com/the Undead Family Podcast. So I will start with the tiers. Uh-oh.
What was that?
Somebody who joined because I forgot to make the party invite only.
That's fine. Well, here, let's do this. Delta, you're taking Odin's spot. I'm gonna invite you to the game. You're on the podcast right now. Shit, where are you at?
You joined in randomly. So the post that I made at 1:30 in the morning because we were busy working on the podcast stuff, was I posted a picture of where you can listen to the Undead Family Podcast. It literally has every single possible streaming podcast ever that we could ever be on. And the comment that I added to it was, check us out today. We are the Undead Family Podcast. While we may be new to this whole podcasting thing, we are posted everywhere. Similar to that one girl you knew in high school. Unlike her, all you'll catch from us is a dose of laughter.
It's still funny.
When I made it, I had asked Goblin, I was like, hey, does this sound good? And like, it wasn't quite to that level yet. Oh, your mom's calling me.
Well, send her a message.
So it wasn't to that level yet. I don't know what to tell her.
Just say can't talk right now. When she originally read it to me, I was mid-editing a video and was not paying attention to her. And so when she read it, I was like, oh, yeah, sounds good. And then later on that night, I'm playing Splitgate. And then we were on... actually, when she first read it, I was playing Splitgate live on Twitch. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't really pay attention to it. And then later on, I'm editing the video, and we're in the party with Odin, Smoke, and Buckshot. And for anybody that knows any of our Forza stuff, that's two guys that we're always with. Odin, who's on the podcast, but Buckshot probably eventually one of these days will be. And Delta also, who is about to join once he loads into GTA. I'll send him an invite to the penthouse, and he can come hang out at the table with us. But Buckshot literally wrecked his car on Forza because he laughed so hard. And it was the greatest reaction anybody's had.
It was, honestly, because I had been sitting there since I had told him that. I was tweaking it, like I was finagling it, and I was using there's this thing that Google has where it's like rewrite, where it like gives you other parodies of what you wrote, which is a lot of where I got the stuff that's posted on Patreon, and sometimes the stuff that we talk about I'll make adjustments and stuff using that. And so when I finally got it to where I wanted it and I read it and they all reacted that way they reacted, I was like, okay, great. I was like, this makes me feel better because I thought it was funny, but I wanted to make sure that it hit the way that I wanted it to hit, and it hit perfectly. So for the tiers, like Gabo was saying, we have 3 separate tiers. And again, by no means does anyone have to, but we do generally appreciate the support, because, you know, I lost my train of thought. Did you hear it crash?
Yep.
That was great.
I heard the derail. Somebody threw a plasma grenade and it took the train right off the tracks.
Okay, let's try that again. We do appreciate the support. The more, you know, support we get, the more we get out there, the easier it'll be for us to get, you know, stuff to make us, you know, get even better, sound even better, greater, things like that. So it is appreciated. So we have 3 separate tiers.
The more and different kind of content that we can do.
Yes.
For Patreon specifically, too. Because it doesn't have the same, you know, it has a little bit more leniency than Twitch and
Spotify.
I actually have to get up off of this to do this.
Yeah. So the first tier is Team Chaos. And I'm not going to say the prices. You can just go on if you're interested. But the first one is Team Chaos.
The prices are reasonable, guys. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not any different than any other Patreon. It's actually probably on the low end for some Patreons. So
for the content that you're gonna get.
Yeah.
So for Team Chaos, it's looking for some extras. Welcome to Team Chaos. By joining Team Chaos, you'll have early access to bonus episodes. We'll also give you a shout out on our podcast and listed in the show notes as a supporter. We also want to hear your thoughts and opinions on something specific. It's your chance, because you would be a Patreon exclusive. You have fan requests. So that's, you know, if you sign up for that, you have general support of the podcast, early access to bonus episodes, Patreon shoutouts, and fan requests. Then our second tier is Team Mayhem. And this one is you want more exclusive content. With getting Team Mayhem, you have all of the same, you know, general support, early access, Patreon shoutouts, and fan requests, but you get more exclusive content. So that could be anything from extra episodes to we're thinking about doing maybe some what did you call it? Watch shows?
Yeah, so part of what I thought would be fun and kind of cool to do. By the way, guys, to my right, this is Delta. Delta, say what's up.
It's good.
I like your energy, bro. High level energy there.
He just joined in to be like, "What are we doing?" And
I know, right? And then realized now he's on the podcast. But yeah. So one of the cool things I thought we could do would be like do Amazon watch parties. You know, if Amazon has it, and actually you can do it on Twitch now at Twitch Prime, to where we could literally live stream us watching, you know, a movie like, let's say, Deadpool or anything, like honestly any movie that we wanted to that was really funny. I could think of a movie from the 80s of guys in space that would be really ridiculous. It's kind of insane to watch, but I'm not going to say that the name of that movie, and I honestly couldn't. I don't even know if I could get away with playing that on Twitch because it's a terrible movie. Probably not.
But yeah, so that's one of those things that we're thinking about. And then the top tier that we have is Team Shambles, because we are Team Shambles.
Team Shambles, baby.
But this is the one that is the most exclusive content for the Undead Family. So again, you have all of the same content as the previous 2 tiers, as well as you have exclusive voting power, and then you'll also receive an annual gift from us. Buddha, you lagged out. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you.
You'll also get an annual gift from us for being a Patreon member.
Coming back, don't worry.
And yeah, so those are those are the levels for joining our Patreon. Again, the prices aren't super crazy, and then also depending on how well received it is eventually, the bonuses might increase, may change, may get better, things like that as we get more support going along. But yeah, so those are our Patreon, our new Patreon. Sorry, again, train of thought is not functioning. So again, if you want to check that out, the website is patreon.com/Undead Family Podcast, or I'll also make sure that Goblin puts it in the show notes. If you don't know what the show notes are, because I didn't know what that is, it's basically just the description. It'll have all of our links in there to all of our socials, like our Instagram, our website, Goblin's Twitch stream, Goblin's
Yellow
YouTube page,
Fever.
all of that. Yellow Fever.
If you actually no
Go to
bull,
the Instagram account for the
I'm
spicy
gonna
link.
I'm gonna say this right now, Buddha. If you actually make an OnlyFans and call it Yellow Fever and put feet pics on it, I will put it in the description of this video.
I just literally shot water out of my nose.
I would definitely pay for that.
Oh, we know you would. We had a whole conversation about what you would do for money.
God.
Oh
I
man.
mean,
I still gotta get with you on a weekend and log into your Forza just to make some money. I still haven't done that yet. I'm gonna live stream that shit too. grinded Delta's account.
Send me an invite.
Already did. You need another
No,
one?
I'm talking about to the
Oh,
casino.
okay, my bad.
I'm back in the game. Not that kind of invite.
I realized after you said it, but it was too late. I had already sent it.
Talk about the economy.
Oh, Jesus,
God.
it's not.
Hey,
Look, I'm trying to stretch.
didn't you hear? The economy's great. Biden said so himself.
Yeah.
Fucking
I'm pretty
idiot.
sure every president says the economy is great, whether or
Yeah,
not
but
it is great.
not every president comes out and says that people are super satisfied with their way of living. Well, $5
What are you
a
guys-
gallon
What are you
gas.
guys talking about? I'm very happy with the $5 a gallon that I spend.
Yeah,
I'm happy.
I'm super
At least
happy.
none of us live in California, because in California some gas stations are over $10.
I'm super
Fucking
happy.
eight.
Almost
Diesel's
Wait,
like
first
$10 in California. I know that.
Yeah, when it first started,
gas.
there was. Did you see the TikTok of the guy going around to people at the most expensive gas station in California, being like, "Why are you filling up here?" And then people are like, "Oh, I wasn't even looking at the price. I just filled up." It
Right?
was like $8 a gallon.
I think my favorite was a TikToker who watched somebody literally drive their car up to the gas pump, got out, looked at the price, and then walked away, left the keys in the car and everything. Somebody went in,
No.
jumped in, turned it on, and there was no gas.
No, that's good. That's good. Don't get me wrong, but the best one to this day that I've seen is the guy that drives up in like one of those like Nissan pickup trucks with a tarp in the back and is just literally filling the
Oh,
bed of
yeah.
his truck with
And it's
gas, and
leaking
it's
everywhere.
leaking and pouring all over the ground because of course truck beds aren't sealed for
Yeah.
clearly rain. Yeah, so he's literally just there's gas pouring all over the exhaust pipe like it was a fire hazard waiting to happen.
It was an explosion. waiting
Oh,
to
yeah.
happen.
I was just like, oh, that is the worst. Okay, that was the creepiest thing
let
I've
him
ever
drive
seen you
like
do. Buddha.
I was not expecting that to happen. I was not expecting that to do that. Okay, that was my bad. That kind of freaked me out. A
My
little
question
bit, too.
is it gonna go back? No, it's not gonna go back.
Damn.
What
So
happened?
he's got the full bodysuit on, and when he hit smoke, it literally glitched. So his face showed. Like, watch, if he does it again, it'll do
Let's
it.
see.
Let's see if it does.
Yep.
Yep, there it goes.
I enjoy that it has the mustache like it has for you. And Delta
yeah.
over there playing video games in a
Hell
video
yeah.
game.
Man,
Oh,
it's
no.
all,
Priorities.
Level 21.
So
Plug it,
so
Robert, plug it.
I've got a question for you. Oh yeah, plug it. Not that it's gonna be anything by the time this comes out, but you know.
Oh, what Raid? Raid
Yeah,
Shadow
yeah.
Legends. Yeah, we've been
Raid
playing. We've been
Shadow
playing Raid
Legends.
Shadow Legends. Trying to burn through the campaign. A bunch of us are already at level 20. The goal is to get as many people as we can to level 15. Still got three days on it left to do it. I'm gonna drop it in chat. I'll put it in the description of the video as well. But if you use my link, then you should get a bunch of extras. You should get extras when you reach level 15 as well. But yeah, guys, it's actually a lot more fun than I expected, to be honest, because I don't play a lot of mobile games like that. But we've had fun. We've had
You
fun
kidding?
doing it.
I'm an old man. I play solitaire on my phone all the fucking time, and I mean
It's
every
roulette.
fucking day. I love playing solitaire. I don't know why.
Dominic
play
really
it.
enjoys it.
Tried to learn how to play free cell. Could never learn. That's the super old people game. My grandmother used to play that shit. I have no idea how anybody plays that shit.
What is it?
Free cell.
Free cell.
I've never heard of that.
It's
Yeah,
like
see?
solitaire, but it's a different game mode.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's the same, like you line up the cars and stuff, just the cards, not cars. That'd be an even better type of solitaire. But yeah, it's just, I've never really understood it. I always, when I play free cell, I always play like the same strategy that I have in solitaire.
Yeah.
But I don't know that it's doing it right or doing it wrong. Like, I couldn't tell you.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same way. I have no idea. But I play it. It's fun. Fuck it. I mean, I'm an old man.
It's the day going.
Yeah, I mean, I play it mostly on lunch when I'm like I got the last 10 minutes before I have to come back from my lunch break. I'm just sitting there playing solitaire like an old fucking man.
Dude, solitaire is so much fun. My
It
mom's
is.
family plays solitaire all the time. Like, my mom used to have a bunch of like those solitary like machines, like the little handhelds that you get at like Walmart or whatever. She used to play that shit all the time. And there's one that has like a ridiculous high score. And I tried for years to try to beat her score until I realized that I don't want to beat that score.
Right.
So, and then I stopped playing.
You know what we need to do? We need to play Uno.
Oh yeah.
Like a bunch of us.
Whenever my Uno, like I open up my Uno, it just crashes and it doesn't let me play it. It's weird. I've tried uninstalling it and installing it like 4 different times.
Yeah, that's weird.
Sucks, I hate it.
I have to make Ducky's Xbox mine, or just buy the game, but I'm too lazy to do that.
Just make your Xbox my home Xbox.
Yeah, I could do that.
The only
but
thing is that'll
the problem
take stuff away from your mom.
Okay. Sorry, my family was calling me.
Yeah, we've both gotten called while recording this podcast. I literally had to text them.
Your mom wanted to know if we wanted the bar stools from the lake house.
Oh, what did you say?
I said yes.
Oh, okay.
So
What are you guys?
we get 2 bar stools.
What are you guys' favorite hobbies to do? Just doing. You got nothing to do?
Besides, like, playing
TikTok.
video games?
TikTok is
Fishing.
not a hobby.
Fishing is probably like my number 1 hobby.
I don't know,
Fishing?
reading. I like reading.
Yeah. Reading is good.
For me, I have a handful, and all of them are ridiculously expensive, which is my problem. So, like, for me,
Cars.
I mean, my car. Pretty much anybody that knows me or knows my content knows about my car.
It's your gamer tag.
Yeah, right. It literally is my gamer tag. A lot of people will meet me and be like, "Do you actually own a 350Z?" And I'm like, "No, I just named my gamer tag off a random car that I've never owned." No, yes, I own one. It is green. It is the Goblin. If you Google Goblin 350Z, my car actually shows up, which is hilarious.
Slight flex.
I mean, but it's not really a flex. Like, it's around Houston, that car is pretty well known.
Finish and then I'll tell them my story about your car.
So it is bright green. It is on bags. It has a loud exhaust on it. Has custom body work. You know, it has a molded duckbill that a lot of people, I mean, you don't see. Normally when you see duckbills on 350Zs, you can see the gap between the trunk and everything. I hated that, so I took it to actually a buddy of mine's body guy and asked him if we could do it without seeing a seam, and you literally cannot find a seam from the trunk to that spoiler anywhere. It is smooth as a baby's ass.
Mm-hmm.
And it breaks necks anywhere that it goes, even as dirty as it is right now, because I need to get it detailed. But yeah, I mean, between custom guns that I've built,
for my truck.
So my fun, hilarious story about Goblin. For y'all who don't know, I just fled Illinois, back in June of last year. Holy shit, it's been a year.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
If we go on
no.
vacation, it actually will be a year.
Oh shit. Anyway, yeah. So, I came down here.
Best year of your life.
Heck yeah. No, but honestly though, best decision was to leave my hometown and all of its drama behind. I no longer fear going to the grocery store and running into anyone I went to high school with. Best decision ever. But anyway.
I like
I
like how lived in Chicago, that's her biggest fear. We've literally played gunshots or fireworks when she was in her room at her old house. But her biggest fear is running into somebody from high school. Like, oh man, that's hilarious.
A handful of times they were mostly fireworks, but you know.
I mean, there were definitely a few where I went, no, and you went, I'm pretty sure that's fireworks. I went, nope, those are not fireworks.
That was me justifying it because Dominic was sitting next to me. But so I started a new job back in January, and I was, just working normal, and it's where I'm at now. And one of the contact center people, vibrating controller, reached out to me and was like asking me some questions about somebody who was trying to send a wire, and he was trying to purchase a car out of Illinois. And I was like, that's weird. Like, so him and I were talking about it because the guy had been asking him questions, and he was like, oh yeah, I guess this is the car that he wants. It's a something, I don't remember.
Well, that
and I was like, oh, I know, right? I want to say it was like a Charger, but I could be wrong. It was something that apparently he couldn't find down here, and the only place he could find it was Illinois, so he was going to import it from Illinois. Yes, I'm aware that's not how you import things, but you get the point. He was going to transport it. And so he was like, I guess he's just like this car guy. And I was like, I understand car guys. And he goes, oh yeah? And I was like, yeah, my boyfriend is a car guy. And he was like, oh yeah. And like, for some reason we got on the topic of it. Keep in mind, he has a member on the phone, right? And he's just that kind of person who's having a conversation. It was probably 10 minutes at most. And I was like, yeah, he drives, a lime green 350Z. And he goes, oh my God, I know that car. I was like, huh? He's like, yeah, Goblin Productions, right, on Instagram? I was like, yeah. He goes, that's your boyfriend? I was like, yeah. He goes, I know him. I follow him on Instagram. I was like, oh my God. He's like, I'm gonna message your boyfriend right now and be like, I know Michelle.
He did too.
Okay, and he did.
He did, and she had already told me this story, and I was like, hold on, let me go look, and sure enough, it was in my message request. I was like, hey, what up, dude?
I thought it was hilarious. I was like, he was just like super cracking up about it. I realize now while I was telling that how we got on the topic was anytime I would go to get anything for the car I drive, which is a Nissan Altima, it's in his name. So like, they're like, do you have an auto zone rewards? And I'm like, yeah, and I'll give them his number. And so it pulls up the Z. Every single god fucking AutoZone and O'Reilly's
they all know me.
knows him.
Yeah.
Like, knows him. And they're like, oh.
Anywhere within about 15 miles of my address, they all know me.
They know. And so, like, his mom would make the comments about it, too. She would be like, yeah, everyone's like, oh, you're Goblin's mom. And he's like, yes. So now I'm known at work by him and a handful of other people that I'm Goblin's girlfriend. And it cracks me up because at the job before I started, where I'm at now, he had to come get, masks from me one day? Or is it when I locked my keys in the car? One of the two.
When you locked your keys in the car and all the executives were in the conference room?
So me being an idiot, I accidentally locked my keys in the car, in the ignition. The car was off, but the door shut behind me and it locked. And I hate that it does that, and I don't know why it does that. But so I called him and I was like, hey, I locked my keys in the car. Can you come get them out? So he had to come break into our car. But so the Z is really loud. And the executives were in the boardroom, in the front, in the corner, over by where I park. And so he pulls up, and I was at my desk, and I was like, every time I heard a loud car, I was like, is that him? No, it's not him. Because we couldn't have phones at my old job. And so then finally I heard him pull up, and I was like, nope, that's him. And the girl I was working with at the time, she's like, what do you mean that's him? That's not Thunder? I was like, nope, that's his car. And so I got up and went out there, and he got the keys, he gave me the keys, and then he left. And when he left, like, the road that the work is on was a really busy road, so you have to give it some sauce to get out of there without getting hit. And I walk in, and there were people noses to the window going, did you see that car? That was a nice ass car. Whose car was that? And I just got
I also being me and who I am, I also aired out when I pulled up. So it went from the car being on the ground, which if that car is aired out and running, it is so much louder than it normally is. Mm-hmm. Just from the exhaust, being on the ground. It touches the ground when it's running. And so it's loud.
Yeah. They were all like, that's a nice
doing
car.
Laundry.
Always.
I've always thought of putting bags on my truck, but I don't know how it would work.
Why would you put bags on a truck?
I've seen it done right. You know what? I actually saw a motorcycle the other day that was on air ride, and that bitch was so gorgeous. It was
I know why you put a Grom on air.
It was a Grom.
You need to send it to Bush.
Did you see it? I think I may have sent it.
Pink Grom.
No, the one I saw was black and gold. But that's a thing. That's a thing with Groms. With Groms now, people are doing that because they're like little pit bikes, and so people at shows and stuff will ride them around and then just air them out.
I saw one of the Arizona iced tea had like one of that livery or whatever, of the Arizona iced tea cans, and it was that, and it had like bags on it, and then it was like a paint job, but it was the
teal
iced
with
tea, like the can,
flowers. Yeah, the green.
I was
the green
referencing the way you said livery instead of livery, but
it depends on who you talk to.
I know.
It's both.
I can't say anything because after the Winchester Mystery Manor, I don't know what sort of accent I talk in, but words are hard. That's all I'm gonna say is words are hard for me sometimes, apparently. And I am working on not saying every other word. Trust me, nobody is as annoyed about that as I am, because I sat there and edited that podcast and wanted to bash my own edit.
Yeah, for anybody that hasn't gone to Spotify and listened to the Winchester Mystery Manor, it's actually really interesting. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, it was not a good video, just because to show the pictures, we made a slideshow, and that just did not translate to video.
The way I had initially intended it to be.
I have ideas on how we can do that differently, to where I can just pop up the picture on stream. So I have ideas on doing that, but I just haven't been able to. Well, honestly, we don't have another topic like that right now.
We will have a Lake Lanier episode in the coming future. But
probably
if you're
about 2 weeks.
interested, yeah, if you're interested in seeing some of the photos from the Winchester Mystery Manor, I did post it on our Instagram. So you can find that at Undead Family _podcast on Instagram. It's marked as a special post. Special episode. I think it's special episode. But it's like a collage of a couple of photos of the Winchester Mystery Manor, of Sarah and William Winchester, and what it started out as and what it is now. So it's pretty crazy. The reactions of the guys crack me up when I was listening back to that, especially about William's beard.
Oh yeah, that dude's beard was wild.
It was definitely white trash.
I think I dislocated my shoulder and pinched a nerve.
Doing what?
I don't know, but it hurts really bad right now.
What could you possibly? You're in a chair.
I don't know.
How are you sitting in a chair that you dislocate your shoulder?
I don't know.
Oh,
Definitely pinched a nerve, but
yeah,
I mean, say air ride in a truck. I've seen it before, but it was work purposes.
Yeah,
my dad had air ride. Yeah, and it's diesel when he used to pull a 40-foot gooseneck. You know, when you just have the trailer on, you leave it alone, but when you have a load on, you want to raise it up so your truck sits a little bit higher, so it's not so much on your shocks and everything.
Yeah, and also it helps you level the truck with it, so you're still level with the weight of the trailer. But I've seen
any level wasn't so fucking expensive.
Yeah.
I've always wanted any
car
level.
modifications in general are expensive. Okay.
So fucking tell me about it.
How much did you spend on your air ride, Goblin?
3,400 something.
Not bad.
Okay, I'm gonna show on screen. Just give me a second to pull it up, because I will show y'all. And if y'all want to look at stream,
I'm just looking in the mirror.
I can show you the guy that wrapped my car. His truck.
Oh, his truck is bad.
Is
ass.
And it's for anybody that around Houston knows Image Grafix, does some of the best designs on there. But his truck is, it is unbelievable.
Goblin showed it to me one time. I thought it looked super sick. Like, he showed me the mock-up of it and like one picture. And then one day we were at Target by us, and he was paying, it was right before Christmas, and we had gotten a bunch of like Christmas presents for me and for Dominic, and he was like, oh, I'm gonna pay, you go ahead and take him out so he doesn't see, his Christmas presents or whatever.
Okay, so sorry guys, that's gonna do that for a second.
But so we went outside, and I was like, oh, that's a nice purple truck, and then we walked closer to it, and I was like, oh, I know that truck.
Yeah, but check this truck out.
I want to wrap my truck really bad. I want to get like a really cool
My
wrap
boy Joe always knows how to do it.
What truck is it? What kind?
It's a Silverado.
Like my year or?
New-ish. I think it's like a 2020 maybe.
Okay.
But, whew. It is a full Joker wrap, and I've seen previews of the new one that he's gonna do on it, and it is something else. Oh, it looks so good, guys.
It does. It still looks sick as shit.
I want to do almost like a really light blue.
But I don't think in this video he had air ride on it. But I know that
like
he
the custom
did.
plate.
Yep. But like, you can just see, like, look at this. It is, and shout out to my man Joe over at Image Graphics. Go ahead and give him a follow, guys, if you're not. But his stuff, and then he also did this thing, which, dang it, that's another video. Why is there not just pictures? Like he did my boy Isaac's, and his is at American Gen, Mericangen, and it's a Genesis, 1 wide body air ride. I mean, talking about some of the craziest designs and wraps that I know. This is the best guy that I know that does it.
And even though it sounds silly, so the what is it? The safe I have.
And then of course, you know, the goblin, the one and only.
But the little like bedside table safe that I have that Goblin got me for my gun, I told him that we should see how much he would charge to wrap it. I just want to get like an aquamarine or like a cyan on some of the border of it where it can be wrapped, because I'm extra like that. Well,
Yeah,
the inception of your stream.
I wanted to wrap my truck, put it as a bright blue, like a baby blue or something.
Well, when we were coming back yesterday from the birthday party, we drove past, what was it? It wasn't a...
the dealership.
The dealership,
the
I don't
Jeep
remember.
dealership
Was
on
it
249.
Was it?
Yeah.
They had,
the new Broncos.
The new Broncos, and the powder blue of that Bronco.
I love
gorgeous.
The powder blue one. Yeah.
Gorgeous. Yeah, I just wish I liked the Bronco body better.
Well, I mean, I like them. I'm not a huge fan of the sports, but the full-size Bronco is gorgeous. There he goes. Look, there he is. There he is. I'll give it 5 minutes before he joins the party. But you know, the full-size Broncos are great.
Yeah.
It's the sports I'm not a huge fan of.
Yeah, I'm not a.
They're a little small.
Fan. Small. I just like the 4 doors. I don't know. I kind of like the 2 doors are alright, but it's just nice to have extra 4 doors, with the extra 2 doors in the back.
Oh, trust me, no one would appreciate more than having more than one 2-door car, more than one 4-door car. Sorry, than I would, because.
Yeah, I mean, my car only gets driven 5 days a week because on the weekend we don't drive it anywhere because they can't ride in it. I mean, Dominic does, but it's rare when me and him go somewhere on our own. If we do, we'll generally take my car unless I just don't feel like putting gas in it, because it does burn through gas pretty quickly.
Tell me about it. I get like 15 miles a gallon, probably less than that.
Bro, I put $50 in it the other day and only got half a tank.
It's hard filling up a diesel here. It pains me. Like I know I'll have enough to get like a full tank, but it's just like it hurts.
Oh yeah, it really does hurt.
Especially with the diesel prices down here, I'm just like, nah, like there's no way.
What truck do you have again?
It was 7 GMC Sierra 2500, so it's got the Duramax.
Yeah, I would love one of those.
So Vortex, not your name anymore, but you won't understand the Houston traffic. So I work 13, I think it is 13 miles. Yeah, 13 miles from where we live, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long do you think it takes me to get to and from work? I leave here at 6:45 and I leave work at 5.
Probably 30 minutes.
It takes me close to an hour.
Bro.
To get to and from work. Because as awesome as Houston is and all of the super cool highways, they loop Houston, right? They circle it. So I could take the highway, and it's slightly faster, but there's more traffic, and it's less direct of a route. So the route that I take is like direct to, I think I have to turn like, what, 4 times? 5 times maybe. But I usually just take one specific main road down the whole way. And yeah, I don't love it.
It takes me 29 minutes to get to work, but
It takes
that's
me
just because
13.
Exactly. Like my old job, it took me about 20 minutes. And it's because it's pretty similar to where Goblin works, just a little further down the highway.
Yeah,
But
for
now
sure.
I'm just like, what in the hell is this chaos?
Yeah, we don't have
Shit.
down here. There's not much traffic in the mornings. I mean, there can be if there's an accident or something, but usually when you're just kind of going to work like on a normal day, it's usually just kind of moderate. I mean, there's traffic, but usually
Now
just
it's
really
not so bad
straightforward.
because there's not school. So like I get to work in the morning a little faster, but in the afternoon it's just rough. It's just rough. Like even if I leave 5 minutes late, like 5:05, I'm sitting in traffic right out of the get-go.
Yeah,
So glad I work mid shift now. Because that shit sucked. 'Cause, I mean, I would work 6 o'clock, 6 a.m. to 2:30. But, I mean, even at 2:30, there'd still be a bunch of fucking traffic that should be annoying as hell.
Oh yeah,
People
for
don't want to
sure.
fucking drive.
Yeah, I'm trying to go to mornings, mainly so I can actually set up a decent stream schedule.
Yeah.
But for the most part, if you're gonna go in there, mute your mic. Oh, but yeah, I mean, other than cars, photography is another main hobby of mine that I don't really do nearly as much as I used to, just because I'm as well known as I was in the car scene. Like I kind of walked away because of all the takeovers and all the just
I hate
drama.
takeovers.
Takeovers are the death of the car scene. I will
I
say it
took my
right
truck
now.
to I took my truck to one takeover here in Arizona, and they have decent. So there's a pretty decent car scene out here. But takeovers, I took my truck to one takeover, almost got hit by a fucking charger. After that happened, I was like, and at that time I didn't have the ranch hand on the truck, so it would have just hit my front bumper and just fucked my truck up. And after that, I was
Yeah.
just like, I'm not going any more fucking
I
takeovers or
mean,
anything like that.
I had a friend that was leaving work and did not know that a takeover was happening down the road, and he literally was trying to go home, and they stopped him, and he had he had a nice anime wrap on his car, and they
Mhm.
stopped him, were making fun of him for that, wouldn't let him go through, and then they destroyed his car, broke windows, broke mirrors, broke door handles, all because he wouldn't do a donut in his car, which it's a front wheel drive car. He couldn't have done a donut anyways. Like,
Yeah.
but not just that. I know people that have had, heard gunshots go off. I know people
Oh
that have
yeah.
have seen people get hit by cars doing donuts and stuff. And they destroy property. It's not good.
Yeah.
It's Keep that shit in California. Stop doing it here. Parents, stop buying your 15-year-old a 500 horsepower Mustang and then not teaching them how to control it. And that doesn't mean
Yeah.
go teach them how to do donuts. That means teach them the right way and how to respect. Like, put some respect on the name. When you say car scene, it doesn't mean takeovers. Takeover is the trash. It is the bottom of the barrel. And I will say that for anybody listening. Takeovers are going to
Yeah.
be the death of the car scene.
My
Well, 'cause it's,
my uncle bought my nephew, right? Still in high school, and bought him a almost brand new. It was like a 19 or not a 19, sorry, a 2000. 2018 Mustang, right? 2-door, real nice. Was great. It was fine. Dandy, whatever. Have everything handed to you. It's fine. I'm not bitter. But bought him brand new car. Within 4 months, it totaled it.
Oh.
Completely totaled. What does my uncle do? Goes and buys him a newer Mustang, a better model, faster, annual. About 6 months goes by. He crashes it and totals it again. What does my uncle do? Gives him like this little Impala. Still nice. What does my cousin do? Bitches about it the whole time. And I said, my dad looks at him. We were having dinner, and he's 3 or 4 years younger than me, maybe a little younger. He's a lot younger. I'm kidding. He's not even 21. But he's, in his 20s, I think. But we're eating dinner at my aunt's house, and he's complaining about it. And he's like, "Come on, Theo," to my dad. Like, tell my dad, like, it's okay. Like, it won't happen again. And my dad puts his fork down, looks at me and says, "Mija, what would happen if you totaled the truck when you first got it?" And I looked at my cousin and I said, "I wouldn't have had a car. I'd have been walking to school, taking the bus." He goes, "Nah, you're lying." I was like, "Absolutely not." I was like, "You have it easy. Easy." I wasn't allowed to have friends in my car. Did I have friends in my car? Yes. But I wasn't allowed. I was like, "You literally have the world at your feet right now, and you're just pissing it away." He finally saved up enough money for a down payment on another Mustang that my uncle helped him get, so I'll give him some credit for that. When he gave the Impala back to my uncle, when I tell you it smelled like there was a ton of weed in that car, I'm not kidding.
It's an Impala.
You could smell it through the doors being closed.
I like how you said it's an Impala. What are you trying to say, Vortex? Delta? Whatever your name is? What are you trying to say? It's an Impala.
But you could literally,
you know what I'm
you
trying to
could
say.
literally smell it with the doors and windows rolled up. It was that bad.
Because just for a little bit of backstory, every Impala I've walked up to that anybody has owned, it's always just reeked of weed. Literally, like if you walk up to my truck, it's gonna reek. Like it's there's weed in there like 24/7. But every Impala I've walked up to, whether it's a new or old, especially the older one, like the mid 2000s, just fucking blasted.
Yeah, for sure.
They remind me of Nissan Sentra owners.
Bro, Scion TC owners.
Alright, I'm not trying to diss anybody that owns a Scion TC, but if you own a Scion TC, you're either really chill or you just think your car's the shit.
There's no in between.
There's no in between with a Scion TC owner. They're either really chill and they're just like, "Oh yeah, I just got this car and it's just a good commute car," and then or it's like, "Oh yeah, I just want to slap a Rocket Bunny kit on it. I want to turbo it and all this." I was like, "Dude,
Bro, I remember the Scion TCs before the Rocket Bunny kit existed, and people were like, "This is the shit."
Yeah.
And granted, I've known a few that have done it well, that have had nice builds with TCs, but they are few and far between. Yeah, those are the people that are chill that could take pretty much any car and build it, and it would be clean.
Yeah.
It's the person has gone to just so much garbage now. Like, you get the nice people that, like, build their cars just clean and simple, and maybe there's some outrageous builds out there, but it's just like, but then you just get the people that just have these literally just cars that just fucking throw a bunch of shit on and it's just gone.
Yeah.
Just ruin the entire car. It would have looked better stock.
But they would.
Kind of what. I mean, my truck isn't stock. I mean, it's got wheels and shit on it, but it's like, I do it simple. Like, I'm not gonna fucking classy dip everything, shit like that.
Yeah, taking for somebody who's plastic dip wheels, it's not worth it. Just buy wheels,
Especially
or get them powder coated.
Yeah, especially if you plasti dip and the paint starts wearing off just from all the wear and tear. That's just
Yeah,
nah.
yeah. Once it even begins to peel, just peel it. It's
Yeah.
not worth it. It's a pain in the butt.
Because when I first got my truck, because it was my dad's, he gave it to me when he got a new one. He plasti dipped the whole front bumper, the wheels, and I was like, why would you do this?
But
He's
that's
like, "I like the
so
black."
that's different. On like a work truck, plastic dip makes sense because the rubber material is gonna protect it more
Yeah.
than. I don't know what I just saw. Why are you being weird?
He just saw Victoria's Secret.
No.
He
No.
just watch me walk past with a bottle full of milk.
A bottle?
Yeah,
I made horchata.
She filled a water bottle with rice
No,
and
I
milk.
made
Sounds so
horchata,
good
but
right
it
now.
looks like milk.
All right, I'm assuming you guys have a Filibertas up there, correct?
A what?
A what?
Filibertas?
No.
No, what's that?
What?
If we do, I don't
Okay.
know where it is.
Okay, it's a very like old school Mexican restaurant. Best burritos you probably will ever have. They are loaded to the brim. You can get anything on them, and they have the best horchata ever. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Bro,
I don't know. We got some
Probably
pretty
some
good
of the best
Mexican
I've
food down
ever
here.
I was gonna say, you realize we live in Texas, right?
Yeah, I live in Arizona, so it's
Yeah. So,
Texas is
so if a
known
guy
for
drives down
Mexican food.
if a guy drives down your freeway with a lawnmower in the back, they get pulled over. Yes, people, that has actually happened in Arizona. It was a really funny story.
Arizona's such a rough state.
It's
I like
hot. It's
Arizona.
needlessly hot.
Let's do
And
the-
everyone
let's
who
see what the
says it's a
temperature is
dry
right now.
heat, anyone who says it's a dry heat, I'm gonna stick you in the oven because that's a dry heat.
Yeah, that's exactly what it feels like.
I mean, granted, I've been in Vegas when it was like 103 at night. So
Yeah, at night it gets really bad here. Like last night when I was coming home, it was like 2 in the morning and it was still like 89 degrees.
yeah, I would die.
So-
My Z doesn't have AC right now. That shit
Mine does.
sucks.
That's how El Paso was.
My motor
Shit was
blew
dark
out my
all the
AC,
time.
but I fixed it.
I knew it was summer when I walked out the other morning, and it was 6:45, and it was already 75 degrees. I told that to my
Oh
dad.
no.
I told that
No,
to my
no, no,
dad,
no,
and he
no,
was
no,
like,
no.
"Shush." He goes, "Yeah, fuck that."
Yeah, wait until it's 6:45 and it's 85 degrees.
I know what's
Well,
coming.
the rough thing is I have decent window tint. I have double fire on all my windows, all my side windows. I have a black leather interior. It
Oh,
burns to step in.
I'm sure it does.
yeah.
It's just like, especially when I leave my truck, like, because usually sometimes just to save gas, I'll just leave my truck in a parking lot and my friends will drive me somewhere. It's, oh my God, it's so rough. Just having to sit and melt in the parking lot. And I'm too lazy to go buy one of the windshield protector things to keep it decently cool. So every time I step
Even
in, I'm
then,
like, oh,
it's not
dude,
gonna do a
It
lot.
still
Yeah, it's not
doesn't
gonna do
do.
anything.
It doesn't do as much as you think it does.
It's so bad. I want to move so bad.
I even park in a garage at work, which is shaded, and it's still just as bad as if I park it outside.
Sometimes I'll park it in my shop, but even then it'll just be like I'll still step in and it'll be just moist and gross.
Moist.
How is it moist? Blech.
It's just like I don't know. I would say it's humid in
Don't
there,
say it again.
but it's like it's moist.
Such a terrible word. Well, on that, I think moist is where we're gonna call this. But this has been a lot of fun, Delta. We appreciate you showing up and taking
course.
Odin's place for today since he decided to sleep in until 5:00.
Of course.
Not quite, because he's been on Red Dead for the last hour. But we appreciate it. Appreciate you guys hanging out and enjoying this podcast with us on the live edition. If you're seeing this on YouTube, please leave a like, leave a comment on what you think we should talk about in the next one. If you have any ideas for like mysteries or stories, or if you want to hear, we've been talking about doing a podcast on like Bundy or some of those
Jeffrey
type
Dahmer,
of
the people Dahmer.
some of the creepy people that have lived in our society.
Ghost stories.
Yeah, I mean we've been talking about doing some type of stories with them, going into their history and things like that. But make sure you leave a like, leave a comment, subscribe, give us a follow on Twitch if you're not already. We're on the road to 50. At 50 subscribers on YouTube, I will be doing a giveaway for a gift card on Amazon, probably like a $50 gift card for the 50 subscribers. But anyways, make sure you follow all our other social medias to see what we're up to. Don't feel pressured to check out the Patreon, but if you want to, that is patreon.com/Undead Family Podcast. And there will be some exclusive content, but all the main shows will still go up on YouTube. They will still go up on Spotify and everywhere else. So we appreciate you guys hanging out, and we will see you in the next video.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.